What's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today the Houston Astros take a really tough loss to the Cleveland Guardians in a long 14-inning baseball game. In this one, the Astros lose 10-9. And as much as this loss is frustrating, I am not worried at all. Still not worried. I am worried about the Yordan Alvarez stuff. I will say that. That definitely does terrify me. But the Astros played a hell of a ball game. And I think the advantage that the Guardians had tonight, and the thing that really killed the Astros in this game, is that they could not take out Seth Martinez of this ball game in the extra innings. They had nobody else to put in the bullpen. The only other guy they could have used in the bullpen today for the Astros, if they were to have taken out Seth Martinez in extra innings in the 14th inning, or which is probably something we should have done, but Brandon Abreu was really the only guy that would have been brought in, and he really couldn't go. I mean, I think he just pitched yesterday. So he really couldn't go for the Astros. I'm pretty sure he pitched yesterday. So the Astros did not have a lot of options in the 14th inning. They used a couple arms in the extras. I mean, they used, because Javier's struggles kind of hurt the Astros in this ball game because they used a lot of the bullpen. They used Stanek in the 6th. They used Montero in the 7th. They used Neris in the 8th. They used Presley in the 9th, Maton in the 10th, and Martinez from innings 11 to 14. Really, the only thing they really could have done was kept Martinez in there. And I know it sucks, but he didn't do that bad. I mean, that's the most. I think the guy was actually pretty good for a guy. I mean, he went 4 innings and went way past his career pitch count. You know, I think he threw about 50-something pitches, and then not only that, but that's the longest the longest he's ever gone is 3 innings. And he went from inning 11 to 14 in this ball game. So you got to give a lot of shout out to Seth Martinez, even though in the end, he ended up, giving up the game-winning run by the Guardians. But I mean, I'm not even that upset about it, because at the same time, this guy was pitching all the way from the innings 11 to 14. And at some point, the offense, if anybody should be to blame, it should be the offense. The offense had multiple chances. Dubon crushed one in the 13th inning to take an 8-7 lead, which almost got out to be a 3-run home run. And so that McCormick scored on that play, and Myers got to third. The Astros in the 13th had Dubon on it. They had Dubon on in the 13th and at second, and they had Myers at third. Altuve had made a really nice play in the 13th, a fly out that originally they called a base hit, but when they went to go review it, the center fielder definitely caught it. So the Astros had multiple chances to potentially score multiple runs in these extra innings and could not capitalize. Tucker hit 2 RBI singles. Dubon crushed one in the 13th. And ultimately, I mean, I will say the home team definitely does have an advantage in extra innings. And the Astros, not only is that an advantage, but the Astros, they couldn't pull anybody else from the bullpen out. I mean, the only other really option for the Astros was Brian Abreu, and he really, really couldn't come out for the Astros. I mean, because then he really wouldn't be able to pitch, because I think the Astros could use him tomorrow. And not only that, but I didn't think he would be able to do that much for us with pitching yesterday. But Astros lose 10-9, 15 hits for the Astros, 14 hits for the Guardians, 2 errors in the ballgame. The one error was by Jeremy, and one of the 2 errors in the ballgame for the Astros, and one of them was by Jeremy Pena. That was a really bad play by Pena. I understand it a little bit. It's this play at the 12th inning where the Guardians tie it up at 7. Brennan grounded into fielder's choice at shortstop. Naylor scored on throwing error by shortstop Jeremy Pena, and Jimenez out at second. I didn't understand that play, because I understand a little bit, because Jeremy, his intention was On that play, he was trying to go for the double play to give the Astros the win. I understand you got to go for the win, but if you don't make that play right there, the runner's not going to score. I mean, you could have hold the ball. Runners would be on the corners with 2 outs. I didn't understand. I really didn't understand Jeremy rushing the play to first right there, because I didn't think Jeremy had a. I mean, Jeremy overthrew it. I didn't really think he had a chance to get him, even if he made the throw perfect. I thought the runner would still be safe. So I thought Naylor was going to still be safe. So I thought that was a really bad play by Pena. And honestly, the Astros probably would have won this game in the 12th inning if Jeremy would have kept the ball in his hands, had runners in the corners with 2 outs. Astros probably would have won it. But it is what it is. Let's go over the winning and losing pitchers. Xavier Curry gets the win for the Twins. He's 3-0 in the season. 1 inning for him, 0 earned runs, 0 strikeouts, 0 walks. Loss goes to Seth Martinez. He's 1-2 in the season. 3.1 innings pitched. Though he did pitch a lot in that 14th inning, so he basically pitched 14 innings. Basically pitched 4 innings, not 14. That would have been amazing. Gave up 1 earned run, which the only earned run he gave up was the last run of the ball game. And he had 4 strikeouts with 3 walks given up. I mean, I thought he did really solid. He had his moments, but at the same time, he was overused, and the Astros couldn't really do anything about that because they couldn't really bring anybody else in this ball game. So let's go to the scoring summary. How about Jose Abreu in the first inning? Dubon and Bregman get on in the first inning, and Jose Abreu home run to right, 377 feet. Dubon scored and Bregman scored 3-0. I don't know how many people will believe me about saying this, but I actually did predict Jose Abreu to hit a 3-run home run in this ball game. Not in the first inning. I thought it would happen. I think I said it to one of my parents yesterday, but I was like, because I think, or maybe my grandfather, I was like, because we were talking about Jose Abreu struggles and it's becoming a real bad problem. I'm like, well, Abreu's used to facing the Guardians. He faced them all the time the past couple years with being with the White Sox and playing them all the time because they're in the same division. I think Jose Abreu is going to hit a 3-run shot tomorrow, and I think I said the 3rd or 5th inning. But this happened in the first inning, so didn't get 100% correct. But I was technically right, but not really, because I did say the 5th or I think I said the 5th or the 3rd inning. I can't remember. I think I said the 5th, but I'm not too sure. But I didn't say the 1st for sure. But Jose knocked one out of the ballpark. To right, 377 feet. Dubon scored, and Bregman scored. Now everybody's all excited about Jose Abreu hitting good because, I mean, he was 2 for 7 today, but it wasn't a long extra inning game. But he was 2 for 2. He started off 2 for 2 with a single and a home run. So, and I thought he was hitting the ball too. I mean, he had a couple of foul balls where he crushed them. He had one foul ball that was almost down the line for maybe a double. There was one foul ball that he almost crushed one for his 2nd home run of the ball game. So he was making some good contact on his foul balls as well. So I don't know. I think this is a good sign for Abreu, and this series should be a really good thing for him. And I think he's going to continue to play well as this series continues to go on. But the Astros would continue to get their lead to spread their lead in the 2nd inning as Dubon would ground out to 2nd, Pena would score, Diaz to 3rd, 4-0. But then in the 3rd inning, Naylor would ground it to 2nd. Rosario would score. Ramirez to 3rd, and it's 4-1. But then in the 5th inning, the Astros would end up making the lead 5-1. Bregman doubled to left. Altuve scored, and it's 5-1. And then through the 5th and 7th innings, the Guardians would end up tying the ball game. Kwan doubled to right. Straw scored 5-2. Rosario doubled to center. Kwan scored 5-3. Jimenez hit sacrifice fly to right. Rosario scored 5-4. Then Jose Ramirez home run to right center, 383 feet, and it's 5-5. And then Yainer Diaz against his former team against the Guardians hit a sacrifice fly to left. McCormick scored, Pena to 3rd, and that's the 8th inning, 6-5. Then in the 9th inning, trying to close this game out, Naylor doubled to center, Ramirez scored, and then we're going extras. they went from innings 9 to 12 without. They went from innings 10 to 12 throughout extras without any runs being scored. Good pitching by the pitchers through innings 10, 11, 10, 11. Innings 10 and 11, and then the 12th came, and then a bunch of runs, and the same thing for the 12th and the 13th, and then the 14th runs. Both teams started scoring runs in those innings, but in the 12th inning, the Astros took the lead in the 12th with a Kyle Tucker RBI single to center. Altuve scored, and then at 7-6, then that play I talked about that Pena overthrew the ball. Then Ramirez scored. Who scored on that play? I think Naylor scored on that play in a 7-7. So then they tied it up on that bad play by Pena in the 12th. Then Dubon in the 13th crushed one, doubled to left. McCormick scored, and Myers the third. It's 8-7. Then the 13th inning, the Guardians would tie the ball game again with a Kwan single to left. Fry scored on error. Kwan safe at second on throwing error by left fielder Chas McCormick. It's 8-8. Then Kyle Tucker does it again for the Houston Astros. RBI single for RBI single for Kyle Tucker as he does it again for the Astros, and he hits a single to center. Altuve scored. It's 9-8. But then in the 14th, two doubles for the Guardians would give them this win as Freeman would double to left. Naylor scored. It's 9-9. Then Brennan would win the game with the double to left. Freeman scored. It's 9-10. Individual batters for the Astros in this game. Dubon was 2 for 7. He doubled in the first inning, scored a run in the first inning as well, had 2 RBIs in this ball game as he hit an RBI double in the 13th inning and hit a ground out RBI in the second inning. So 2 RBIs for Dubon and 2 doubles for Dubon as well. He's been crushing the ball, and he did that today with 2 doubles and also 2 RBIs. Cesar Salazar would replace him in this game, but did not have any at-bats, would come in for the Astros to be the catcher. And then Jose Altuve was 2 for 7 in this game. He had way more at-bat. Altuve had a total, he had 7 at-bats in this game. I thought it was 8. But Altuve had 2 hits, single and a double, scored 3 runs as well for the Astros, scored 3 out of the 9 runs for the Astros in this game. A double for Altuve in the 5th inning, and then a 7th inning single to left. He had that 5th inning double, he crushed that ball down the line. And then that was it for Jose. Alex was not that great today. Had 7 at bats, was 1 for 6. Had a first inning walk and scored a run in the first off of the Abreu home run. Hit a double in the 5th inning that scored Altuve for an RBI. So Bregman had an RBI, and the cool stat about that Bregman RBI is that that's Bregman's 15th RBI in 15 games. But besides that, Bregman was not that great in this ball game, going 1 for 6. Tucker was really solid with 2 clutch hits for the Astros in the extra innings in the 12th and 14th for 2 RBI singles. Both of those RBI singles both scored Altuve. And then a walk in the 9th inning by Tucker as well. But besides that, he was 0 for 4 besides the RBI singles and the walk. Abreu was 2 for 7 with his 2 first at-bats, getting on base with a 3-run home run and a RBI single. And then besides that, he would not have a hit the rest of the game. Chas McCormick was awful today, 0 for 6. Did have a walk in the 8th inning, but Chas did score 2 runs in this ball game, which doesn't make sense. How did he score 2 runs in this ball game if he only was on base once? I don't know the other time he got on base, but Chas was 0 for 6 in this ball game. Jeremy Pena was fantastic in this game. Not so much in extra innings. He was 0 for 2 in the extra innings, but in the first 9 innings, Jeremy was 4 for 4. A double in the 2nd inning to left, a single to right in the 4th inning, and an infield single in the 6th to shortstop, and a double in the 8th inning that kept the Astros going to give the Astros the lead in the 8th inning. Well, not give them the lead, but it would help the Astros give the lead because that got McCormick to 3rd in the 8th, and then eventually Yainer Diaz would come up, and then after that, Yainer Diaz would come up and hit the sac fly. But great hitting right there by Jeremy Pena, going 4 for 4, but then was 0 for 2 in extra innings. Yanner Diaz played DH today, and he was 1 for 3. Had a walk in the second inning, but then had a single in the fourth inning. So a walk and a single in his first 2 at-bats, and then hit a sacrifice fly. Only had 1 at-bat in extras with a 10th inning groundout, and then Corey Julks would replace him. Corey Julks had 1 at-bat as he would come in as a pinch runner, and he reached on an infield single to third. I want to say I did see Corey Julks' Instagram post today, saw about his dogs. Very sorry for him. I mean, I couldn't imagine, going out there after their dog, after his dog passed away, and having to, he didn't have to play today besides that at bat, but it's still tough, man. And I'm wishing Corey Julks the best. But he was 1 for 1 for an infield single today. Clutch hit by Corey as well. Martin Maldonado was 0 for 2. So his first at-bat, he sacrificed to first, Diaz to second, and Pena to third in the second inning. Then he grounded into double play in the fourth inning, and then the sixth inning, he struck out. Then a walk in the eighth inning, and then he sacrificed to first again, Julks to third in the 11th inning. Jake Myers would replace Martin Maldonado in this game as a pinch hitter, and he grounded into fielder's choice in his only at-bat. Astros pitchers in this ballgame, Javi would get the start, went 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. And then Ryan Stanek pitched the 6th, gave up 1 hit, but did get through the inning. Monterio pitched the 7th, gave up 1 hit, got through the inning. Hector Neris pitched the 8th inning, got through the inning clean, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Ryan Presley was a little bit of a struggle, but did get out of the 9th inning without the Astros losing. But he did give up a hit and give up earned run and gave up a walk, but did also have a strikeout. But it is what it is. Phil Maton was really solid in the 10th for the Astros. Got the Astros through it. Did give up a walk, but the Astros did get out of the situation with 2 runners on in the 10th. And Maton got through that 10th inning in 5 pitches as well. So, I mean, Maton was... I think, what happened was Maton threw like 2 balls to whoever got the walk, and then Dusty intentionally walked him after that. So it wasn't a full walk on Phil Maton. Phil threw the first 2 walks, and then Dusty decided to intentionally walk whoever was at the plate. And then we talked about Seth Martinez pitching the rest of the way for the Astros through innings 11 through 14. You guys have your thoughts on the game for today for the Houston Astros. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Astros.